Common sense is often hailed as an innate ability to make sound judgments based on everyday practical experiences. However, it appears that common sense isn't as ubiquitous as one might think. According to research, a staggering 90% of adults fail at answering simple common sense questions correctly, while children seem to breeze through them. This discrepancy is largely attributed to adults overcomplicating things, whereas children rely more on straightforward thinking. In this video, we will explore a series of common sense questions designed to challenge your practical reasoning skills. Are you part of the 10% who can ace this test? Let's find out. Before delving into the questions, it's essential to understand what common sense truly entails. Common sense refers to the basic level of practical knowledge and judgment that we all need to help us live in a reasonable and safe way. It's the ability to make sensible decisions and judgments based on simple perceptions or basic knowledge. Common sense is not something that requires extensive education or specialized training. Rather, it is an innate ability that helps individuals navigate daily life efficiently and effectively. This form of reasoning is deeply rooted in the human experience, emerging from our interactions with the environment and our need to solve everyday problems. The essence of common sense lies in its practicality. It enables us to interpret situations quickly and respond appropriately without overthinking or overanalyzing. For example, if you see dark clouds gathering in the sky, common sense dictates that you might want to carry an umbrella. This decision doesn't stem from scientific analysis of weather patterns, but from a straightforward understanding that dark clouds often precede rain. Moreover, common sense is often influenced by cultural norms and societal expectations. What is considered common sense in one culture might not be viewed the same way in another. Despite these variations, the core function of common sense remains the same. It serves as a mental shortcut that guides behavior and decision-making in everyday situations. First question: describing someone with all fingers. Question is, which word would you use if you needed to describe a person who doesn't have all their fingers on one hand? Answer is normal. Most people have all 10 fingers distributed equally on both hands, 5 on each. Therefore, someone with all their fingers on one hand would be an anomaly, but in normal human anatomy, this situation is just a matter of having 2 hands with 5 fingers each. Second question: burial of survivors. Question is, if a plane crashes right on the border between Canada and the United States, where should they bury the survivors? Answer is you don't bury survivors. This question is a classic example of overthinking. Survivors are the individuals who remain alive after the crash and, therefore, would not need to be buried. Third question: lighting a match. Question is, imagine that you just entered a pitch-black room with an oil lamp, a newspaper, and some kindling wood. You only have one match. What will you light first? Answer is the match. To light anything else, you must first strike the match. This question tests your ability to recognize the first logical step in a sequence of actions. Fourth question: the color of the stairs. Question is, Mrs. Brownie loves the color pink. Her bungalow is decorated entirely in pink. What color do you imagine the stairs are? Answer is bungalows typically do not have stairs as they are single-story houses. This question challenges your assumption making based on given information. Fifth question: staying dry in the rain. Question is, a man got caught in the pouring rain without an umbrella or hat, yet not a single hair on his head got wet. How so? Answer is, the man is bald. This straightforward answer tests your ability to think literally and avoid overcomplicating the scenario. Sixth question. Plane crash paradox. Question is, how can it be that every single person in a plane crash died, but 2 people survived? Answer is, the 2 survivors were married. The key lies in the phrasing "every single person," implying that all unmarried individuals perished. Seventh question. Objects used daily. Question is, what do you sleep on, sit on, and brush your teeth with? Answer is a bed, a chair, and a toothbrush. This question requires you to use common sense to identify everyday objects without overthinking. Eighth question. Months with 28 days. Question is, in some months there are 31 days, in others 30, but how many months have 28 days? Answer is, all 12 months have at least 28 days. This question highlights the importance of listening carefully and applying basic knowledge. Ninth question. Seeing in the dark. Question is, a man dressed in all black was walking in the middle of the road when a huge black car with its headlights off came around the corner and screeched to a halt. How did the driver see the man? Answer is, it was daytime. The clue is in understanding that visibility would not be an issue during the day, regardless of the colors involved. 10th question. Fire extinguishing priority. Question is, an arsonist set a house on fire including 3 rooms filled with valuable items. Which room did the police start to extinguish the fire in first? Answer is, the police don't extinguish fires. That's the job of firefighters. This question tests your ability to recognize roles and responsibilities. 11th question. Problem with snow boots. Question is, what's the biggest problem with snow boots? Answer is, they melt when you bring them inside if they are made of snow. This whimsical question checks if you can think outside the box. 12th question. Putting a giraffe in a refrigerator. Question is, how do you put a giraffe in a refrigerator? Answer is, open the fridge, put the giraffe inside, and close the door. This question tests if you tend to overcomplicate straightforward tasks. 13th question. Putting an elephant in a refrigerator. Question is, how do you put an elephant in a refrigerator? Answer is, open the fridge, take the giraffe out, put the elephant in, and close the door. Remembering the previous scenario shows your ability to consider the consequences of your actions. 14th question. Noah's Ark and the elephant. Question is, Noah builds one more ark and invites all the world's animals to join him. Every single animal boards except one. Which animal does not board the ark? Answer is the elephant, because it's still in the refrigerator. This question tests your memory and ability to connect different parts of a story. 15th question. Crossing a river with crocodiles. Question is, you're hiking in the wilderness and come across a river inhabited by crocodiles. How can you cross it without becoming their dinner? Answer is swim across. The crocodiles are on Noah's Ark. This question checks your ability to learn from previous information provided. These common sense questions reveal a fascinating insight. Many people tend to overcomplicate answers by overthinking scenarios. This tendency can be attributed to various factors, including our education, life experiences, and the habitual inclination to search for deeper, more complex answers when faced with problems. However, the key to passing a common sense test lies in straightforward, literal thinking and avoiding unnecessary assumptions. When faced with a question, adults often activate a more analytical mode of thinking. This mode, while beneficial in complex problem-solving and critical thinking tasks, can sometimes obscure the simplicity of common-sense solutions. For instance, when asked how many months have 28 days, an overthinker might immediately recall February, the shortest month. However, the straightforward, common-sense answer is that all 12 months have at least 28 days. Children, on the other hand, tend to excel at these questions because of their uncomplicated view of the world. Their thinking is more direct and less burdened by the over-analysis that comes with experience and education. This straightforwardness allows them to provide correct answers where adults might falter. For example, a child would not be bogged down by the complexities of aviation laws when asked about where to bury plane crash survivors. They would simply recognize that survivors are not buried.